Hi, everybody. Welcome back to ISC West 2022. SecurityGuideTV.com. Chuck Harold, your host, here at the RadSecurity.com booth. I'm speaking with Alisa Givertz. She is the co-founder and CEO of Liquid360.co. That is not a typo. It's .co, correct?
That's correct.
All right, very good. What do you guys do?
Well, we take any site and we model it. We make it an augmented reality, and then we pull in all of the security components, whatever the site already has in place, and we bring everything into this augmented reality model with spatial context. So now, in one glance, you can see your entire site inside and out, and you understand it.
Now, when you said site, I'm going to 30,000 feet. I'm thinking bigger. In theory, you might have a studio with 50 buildings. You might have a smart city that wants to participate in this. It's scalable.
Absolutely.
Right.
In fact, we're working on our first city right now, small city, but we're working on a city right now, and we're very excited about it. Our next version software will be able to handle all of the cameras for the City of London, for example. So we're really...
That's a lot of cameras.
Well, it is. It is. And not just that, pull it all in one screen and be able to zoom in on one corner and see what's relevant to you and see what's really happening in real time. So all of this happened because I lost my daughter. We were in New York for my cousin's wedding, my 4 kids and my parents and I. We had a few rooms, of course, and then all of a sudden my 5-year-old was gone. And I called the front desk and they connected me to security, and they couldn't help me. And I was really surprised.
Oh my gosh.
Because I watch television and I know how security works.
Right.
But it didn't. Anyway, I was incredibly lucky and I found my daughter, and I thought my experience was unique.
Oh, you didn't lose your daughter.
I lost my daughter, but I found her as she was going out onto the street. She had gone all the way down
when you
to
said
the
lost,
lobby.
I thought she died. Thank God.
No, thank God. I thank God every day.
I was in a situation like that once too. Go ahead. Keep going.
No, a few seconds more and I would have missed her completely.
Yeah.
And then I was a diplomat for Switzerland in the US at the time, and I saw the active shooter incidents, and I saw the same problem over and over again. And I saw this reluctance and this delay, and my partner and I we think we've cracked it. We think we've created situational awareness.
That is a strong statement. I love the way you said that. That's confidence, right? You cracked it. And it is a problem to solve.
Yes.
And I used to manage hundreds of guards, and the problem is human error. It's not that people are incompetent necessarily. Usually they're not properly trained. It's not that they want to participate. It's that there's no leadership. There's all kinds of components there.
Absolutely.
And they need help. And the technology, when you bring the technology in, it works.
Well, and this is the thing. And if you have problems where there's cognitive underload, there isn't enough for the person to engage with.
That's right.
You have cognitive overload where they're so overwhelmed by the information that there's absolutely no way for them to understand it.
Bill Gates couldn't do it. Nobody can do it.
Nobody could do it. It doesn't matter how big your brain is. We've been learning to look through our eyes since we were born, and that's how we understand the world. So
85% of what we understand is visual.
Right.
That's right.
And so by bringing the model together.
I'm going to hold it for while you talk. I'm going to come over here.
And then being able to move it like we move everything else in our life, and seeing things with spatial context, that's how we do it. Also, we lower the bar for training because we integrate the PTZ cameras.
Right.
So now when you want to see a PTZ camera, you just touch you just touch the screen, and the software selects the camera with the best view of that site.
Now, you said something very interesting. I'm a huge proponent on training. The problem with training is, when I used to teach my guards something, first I started with traditional training. Learn this module, learn this module, learn this module. Guess what? People don't remember 3 things. And then they're off to watch Netflix, right? That's just the way the brain works nowadays, right? So I started teaching concepts. In the new executive building, in the Fox building, my concept was, your job as a guard is to keep us on the air. It's a live broadcast facility. Any decision you make must be based on one thing. Does that keep us on the air? So one day, Kamani Bacon comes up, a dog walks in the front lobby. The policy says no dogs. The training says no dogs. But she says, wait a minute, does that keep us on the air? I don't know. Excuse me, sir, what's that dog for? That's Spuds McKenzie. He's doing a Super Bowl commercial. Oh, I got to get that dog in there. He's about 1 minute early, barely a minute for the show. It's live broadcast, right?
Wow.
Had she followed the training, fail.
But you kept her with focused on concept.
The concept. Your device is conceptually based. I don't need to be trained on PTZ cameras. I don't even need what it means, because when I open it up, it tells me what it is right there.
Absolutely.
That's brilliant. And it's really operational ease for anybody to use. In fact, forget security. What if all the security guards are incapacitated? Soccer mom needs to step up and do it.
Absolutely.
That's right.
And if it's a situation where first responders have shown up on the scene, and you can hand them the tablet and they can understand the scene.
Yes.
In the first glance, they don't have to be digging around for floor plans or anything. They have a live floor plan in their hands, and they can make the plan in the next moment. And when you save time, you save lives.
I was just going to say it. You beat me to the punchline. What saved your daughter? Timing.
Absolutely.
Seconds. Milliseconds.
Seconds, yeah. Absolutely.
It's exactly what...
She was pushing on the door.
Yeah. Security models used to be based on fortification. A lot of them are still. Deter, detect, delay. But a deter, detect, delay model is really based on time. Because the longer I have to react, the more components I can bring to the solution, right? And that's what this does.
Yes.
It shortens your time to respond.
Absolutely.
And when your time is short, you have time to sit there and look and evaluate and say, let me push that button and do something. That's brilliant. Yeah. So, necessity is the mother of invention.
Absolutely.
That's it.
100%.
It drives innovation.
Absolutely.
I mean, who invented the artificial heart? A ventriloquist. Paul Mahoney. Because his dad was dying and he invented it.
Alert.
It wasn't a doctor,
right?
right? This is how it happens.
It's amazing.
Oh, look, our nice little robot's talking to us.
There you go.
They always want to visit us. Thanks, robot.
Yes.
Well, we're here at the Robotic Assistant Device booth, so that's important.
We're very glad to be here.
Let's give one more second.
By red light my way.
Now, since we're here, let me ask you this question about the device. Are we getting to a point where we're going to start building autonomy into this? So some of these things happen automatically. In other words, so if something happens, can you push this to somebody instead of having the tablet? So I have situational awareness when I didn't know I needed situational awareness. I'm on the perimeter. I'm a guy out walking around. Beep, beep, beep. Look at this map. Oh, here's what you got to do. Push that button and engage, right?
Absolutely.
And that's automation is another word for it. Yeah.
Well, think about it. If you have a monitoring system, some of those, each agent is monitoring what? 200 sites, 500 sites?
Yeah, it's impossible, really.
Right. They can't. But they get an alert. They send it to the guy in the field, and they drive over or whatever. If they can pull it up in real time, they can inspect. They have the time to look at the building.
That's right.
And they can decide, do they need to call the police? They can be proactive.
Right.
You change the whole nature of response.
And a dirty little secret, since I managed hundreds and hundreds of guards in my career, right? There's a lot of faking going on. There's a lot of faking. There's a lot of show up, shake the door, get back in the car. Is it their fault? No, it's just the model. It's not the right model, right?
Right, but when they can see what's going on, they can feel much more confident.
Well, then you can use the model for what it's supposed to be.
Right.
Because if you have no data, there's no reason to act.
That's right.
Right, that's it.
And that's, during COVID, the site in Baltimore that I showed you, they were able to do virtual patrols. They were able to see that there were people on the site messing with things that they shouldn't be, and they were able to engage with the police. They were getting false alarms in the middle of the night, and instead of having to drive a half an hour each way to check out the site to see if it was false or not, he could just power up his tablet and he could do a virtual patrol, and he could say to the alarm company, don't send the police.
Now, here's something I found. Maybe you have some insight into this, since you're very well-traveled, world-renowned. You've seen a lot of things, 23 countries, if I remember correctly, from your bio.
I've been to almost 50, but I've worked in 21.
Worked in 21, okay, right.
So you're right.
Here's the thing about guards. And I'm not going to pick on guards particularly, but there's a component here that I see in the security industry and the police industry. They're a little behind technology. Right? I gave my guards BlackBerries. It was a big challenge to get them to use it to write logs. Once they did, it was very effective, right? This is easy to use. I get it. Do you think that the guards are engaging this sort of technology now, that they want to use it because they understand it? Have we kind of closed that gap between understanding and user?
Well, I think that everybody has a smartphone.
Right.
I mean, really, everybody. Steve Jobs taught all of us how to touch a screen.
Right.
And so and honestly, guards, police, they've probably been playing games.
Well, that's true too. That's true.
And so we're actually working on gamifying even more, because
that's a good idea.
Right, because this is what we've grown up with. This is what our kids have grown up with. I don't want to lie about my age. I don't want to pretend.
I had a dial phone, all right? That's what I had.
Yes, I had a dial phone. So I think that it's actually there's going to be less resistance because it's something that they're familiar with.
Okay.
It's how they're interacting already.
Yeah.
Whereas the wall of screens, it's intimidating. it's really intimidating. You can't understand what you're seeing.
No,
but
and
you
can't
gotta
do
fake it.
You gotta fake it because otherwise you look like you're not working. No, it's a sad truth. It's true, and I can say it because I'm not beholden to any security guards. That's the way it is. Got to tell the truth. That's the whole thing. Miss Lisa, you're charming. Give us the website.
It's liquid360.co.
.co. And you don't have a booth, but I think next year you're going to have a booth.
Absolutely.
I think it's going to catch
next
on.
Year we're going to have a booth.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but please visit our website and be in touch with me. I'm here, and thank you so much, Chuck. I'm so great. I'm just so grateful.
I'm so grateful. Come on, I love to see new stuff that's innovative. This is a game changer.
I think
new
so.
stuff. Back in here on Security Guy TV at ISC West 2022 and the RadSecurity.com booth. All right, there we go.